Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Partnership of Greatness. And I'm sure that you are wondering how come this time we're supposed to be watching Frank on Camnet. If you were expecting to meet Ambassador Mutubila on this program, this is a new year. There's some changes. You can meet Ambassador Mutubila every 17 hours. On Tuesday, every Tuesday, 17 hours, Ambassador Mutubila will be live in the studio. This time, I've come here to continue with what we are doing. And my guest tonight is Mr. Jonathan Chipalo. How are you, sir?
Good evening, Pastor, and thank you much for inviting me, and good evening, viewers.
Amen. Mr. Chipalo, I know you are part of that family when you are watching Camnet. This station will not depart from the fact that anybody who watches Camnet TV passionately and we are a family. You can see that when they are sending text, they don't say, Pastor Chiluba, do this. Most of them, they will say, Pastor Chiluba, we want this on our Camnet. We want this because we are a family. Now, because of that, the nation out there, the family out there, would like to know who is Mr. Jonathan Chipalo.
Thank you, Pastor. Just like you rightly put it, Jonathan Chipalo is a Zambian and an Olympian who represented the country in the 1988 Olympics, together with Samuel Matete, Douglas Kalembo, Enoch Msonda, and I represented the country in 1988 Olympics together with Samuel Matete, Douglas Kalembo, and Enoch Msonda. And after my career, I decided to go into coaching. And I was lucky that I was picked by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that time, and I was offered a scholarship to go and study in German at a place called Leipzig University in the former East. And I think that was the time the Berlin War had done away with, and there was some unification, so there was a bit of peace and love going on. After my studies, I came back to Zambia, continued competing as an athlete, but due to my injury, I was advised by the doctors at Maina Soko that I need to put up a rest, otherwise my injury would be very severe. You may wish to know that I was that time serving with the Zambia Air Force, and during that time, KK's time, sport was compulsory in the Defense Force, and my commander also was a sports person who was there for. The Lieutenant General Anania Lungu. So it was part of our duties to contribute to the nation through sports. And after some time again, there was a scholarship that came forward, and they selected me now to go to Mainz University in the former West German. And I left for studies where I did the language in German, and after that I pursued my career in coaching. And I graduated. Of course, the love of Zambia, while others were not coming back, I came back to Zambia. And I was appointed as, after they advertised, as assistant national coach for the Zambia Amateur Athletics Association at a very early age. And it wasn't very easy. I still have memories of difficulties. And then later on again, they advertised for the senior coach, and I was promoted, became the national team coach for Zambia. And there came a chance for me to go and serve outside the country. I was given a chance to go to the United States, where I was in charge of summer camps, and Bobby Simpson, who runs what they call softball women teams. So I was a condition trainer moving from one state to another. And then there was a request that I come back. They required somebody to go and do the director's course. And IAF, which is now World Athletics, and my colleagues thought I was one of the best candidates, and I accepted that offer. I left for Kenyatta University. I went to study at the Kenyatta University Academy. After graduating and passing the course, I was appointed as a coaching development director for Zambia, because they are making directors to run and structure sports in each country. And then this was now an award as a career. So I'm a career coaching development director and academy coach, and a member of the World Coaches Academy. And after that, there came a chance again. I was requested to go and serve under the IOC in the US, what they call visiting coach and instructor. I was instructing. In 2018, I was requested to go to Switzerland, and that offer, Pastor, almost gave me headache, because, you know, as a Zambian, you are in the States, and they offered the cost to go and study in another country, how to get a visa.
In Switzerland? In the
States. I was in the States.
But the offer came from Switzerland?
Yeah, IOC, the International Olympic Committee, requested me to attend what they call the World Olympians Conference, to start structuring these movements in each country. The Olympians associations look after the Olympians after they graduate. So I was given a chance to teach at the SwissTech in Switzerland as well. But you see, on the scholarship, on the visa issue, when I went to the embassy, it was express, and they told me you're not paying anything. And I was saying, well, but I'm in the States, how come? And it worked my side, because I mean, prayer was my daily bread. I will not cheat, because without prayer you cannot succeed. And I managed to get into Switzerland, and I informed my colleagues, and after serving in Switzerland, I got back in the US. Then I moved to Istanbul. I came to the Congo. Then I took a break to come to Zambia.
What were you doing in Istanbul?
Well, I was now working with the UNHCR, with rehabilitation of our friends who are displaced. These are what you call the refugees, and to get them to identify their talents. Then I moved to the Congo. Then I took a break to Zambia. Again, I was asked to, that I was one of the candidates selected to go and pursue another career, what they call business accelerator in Israel and Jordan and German. Then I chose German, but the NOC president said, no, it's better you take up the Jordan one. And indeed, the selectors thought I was more suitable to go to Jordan. And I went to Jordan, and I went to Israel, and I graduated, and I came back to Zambia. Yes. Apart from that, I ran what they call Health and Fitness Academy for Children.
You run?
Yes, that's the program I do, because it's not common in the country. The aerobics are only for elderly people. So I go around with what they call mobile training. And then I'm the president of the Olympian Association of Zambia. We engage the Olympians, for example, those who are in Tokyo. We engage them, we teach them on branding, making their CVs, marketing, event organizations, and also to encourage them that now you are mature, you can be branded for an organization. So this is what I've been doing of late, and we award them certificates that come from the World Olympians. And we have done so far for quite a number of them, of about 30 to 40 years.
With all that rich CV, are you married, or you are yet to marry?
Yes, I have a family, but it's sad that none of my kids have taken up sport. So not even my own relatives around.
Yeah. For how long have you been in marriage?
Well, for quite some time, and the kids are quite old now. Yes.
So all that time you were studying, you were married? When you'd go to Switzerland?
No, these were latest trips to Switzerland and others. But the trips of when I was still serving in the system, the German one I was still not yet the first one, but the second one, yes, I was. After going to Mainz University, sorry. Yeah, by then now I was grown up a bit. Because the first one, I think I was a bit young, and even when I went to serve there, it's a grace of God that, you know, you are in the East, and you know how it is in the former East.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a bit difficult, sure. So, and then when I went to the former West, I was more mature, that I knew what I was doing. And you see most of the people don't come back. But I'm one of the people that have really come back to Zambia and give a service. But they really wanted me to stay, change my nationality and so on. I have colleagues who have done that, but I thought it was better to come to Zambia and stay with the family and also bring them in a godly manner, so that without that touch, it becomes a bit difficult. Yes.
With all that rich background, let me take you back. You say you were an athlete. You are still.
Yes.
And you were running?
Yes. My event was from young age. I was inspired by my uncle, the late Uncle Lewis Changufu, who told me my mother was a runner. The late Lewis Changufu. But then I think he was Minister of Internal Affairs in the country. Yes. So every time he came, he picked me up. He said, "Your mother used to run. Then I'll chase the car." So I think the inspiration was from the message that my mother was a runner. She used to beat the ladies at the Kasama girls, the men, sorry, in Kasama, where they were at school. She could run with the men, the Humphrey Mutembas, and the Lewis Changufus, and yes, Kasonde Kasutus, and others, you know. So they would joke with me. So you'll be like your mother. So it became an inspiration to me. And I took up this as a challenge. I was lucky when I went to school, at Wing Secondary School. So in Lusaka, at the primary school, Lotus here, we had what they're calling intersector. You have intersector. Everyone really participated in running during our days before you do other sports. So when I went to Wing Secondary School, I found that it was one of the qualifications to be well received as a first year student. If you are doing sports, they will scramble for you. And I was by the teacher called Mr. Siame, had just come from the University of Zambia, to put me in his class. And the head boy got me in his cubicle, and he was always telling me to leave one race for him, the 200. I should not win. So I should only win the 400. Yes, that's how I was at school.
What segment were you running? Because for sure, Samuel Matete is your friend.
Yes, he's my colleague. We competed together.
You competed together?
Yes. Today
he was running 100 meters.
Right? 4 flat.
400
flat,
meters.
Yes, it's a very costly race. It requires strong young men and women to do it, because it's a complete of the 100 meters for the 200s, 2 of them. So we thought, for me, I thought it was good to do the race that everybody was scared of. So in 1988, we qualified to go to Korea from Independence Stadium. That stadium you see there produced Matete, myself, Kalembo, and Ino Kimsonda. We formed a strong 4x4. But
you went to South Korea? Yes,
I was in Korea. We competed, our relay team, although we lost in the second round. But before that, we had the circuit of going around the world. We were in Botswana, invited for the Presidential Cup. We qualified, and we went to Algeria in a town called Annaba. It's a small town, and it was built from a village into a town. I think you've read about it, where Keke visited. The same place Keke, he came to visit that time when we were also competing in Annaba. Yes, and we were in Greece, competing in Greece before qualifying to the Olympics. But it was a policy. Every time that when you are going abroad, you come and meet Keke. So we were all withdrawn, including soccer players, like Arusha Warriors, Charles Musondas, to Zambia. We camped at the University of Zambia. They put up a special meal for us, and we had the instructor from the Ministry of Sport called Mr. Evans Kalenga, who could take all of you for physical training, regardless of what you know from where you're coming from. That now becomes your instructor. And we are staying, I think, at Kalingalinga. I was dormitory at Kalingalinga side. And then we had to meet Keke for a meal, lunch, invited
at State House.
Yes, invited through our
he was a spokesperson.
The MCC, Betty Chilunga that time. And I find that my boss, the late Lieutenant General Nyarungu, was the vice chairman of the Sports Council, and I didn't know. I only knew when we were going to State House that actually I was also honored. And he said one of the appointments came because of part of my performance and others by Keke. So then we were sent off by Keke to Korea. You remember the soccer team moved into Gwangju, and we remained in Seoul. We only met them after they came out of the competition. Yes.
You know, Mr. Chipalo, it is amazing how this nation, I keep on saying this nation amazes me because it is one of the greatest nations on earth which does not celebrate its own. I don't know why. Because I know Jonathan Chipalo, but I didn't have this rich history that you have brought, you know, on the table, especially to Camnet TV viewers. And it is amazing how Zambia could produce Samuel Matete, it could produce Jonathan Chipalo, and your friend
Enoch Musonda.
Enoch Musonda is still alive?
He's around. We just honored him with the World Olympian Certificate of Recognition. We have people like General Moses Piri.
He's also alive?
He's around. And we still have many that are still surviving.
So what is your problem? Why haven't you come together so that we also see that these are Olympians? In Ethiopia, in Kenya, once you've been to the Olympics, they will give you either a street, they will give you a building named after you or what. Why haven't you come together so that we push this?
Well, I think we did not brand ourselves like you are saying, Pastor. We were scattered. But now with the Olympian Association movement that is formed, which I'm heading, Mr. Matete is one of the members, we are now asking everyone to be brandy and come together and support each other. For example, not long ago we awarded one soccer player, a young girl. She comes from Southern Province, and there was a calamity that took place there. People, we lost people, and we may I condolence to those families. We engaged the young girl. We talked to her through our pastor, who was based in Kabwe, and that she should go to that zone and try to be a role model and a brand and try to do a project that can be sponsored by the World Olympians. The World Olympians as a fund to fund any project that to encourage Olympians can come up with. My project was funded, but that's the time I was out, so they only sent half of the money. My project came out first, the vulnerable and health and fitness for the kids. So we're encouraging them to do that. Even if Camnet did to use some of Rachel Tunanji, that girl we've heard about her, in soccer, these are brands. We have already awarded them certificates. We have Ngozi Mwanamuamba running the Millennium Challenge Gymnasium. She's also one of our Olympians. So the onus is on us to show why we should be supported. We know governments have policies to do that, but are we showing it ourselves? Are we sacrificing that?
Yeah, but still, I'm still having my own questions. Is it because there is no platform for you people to come together so that we know you? Because again, in Zambia, you would rather be known if you belong to an organization, if you are a treasurer here, you are what? But like this rich information you have given, the Camnet TV viewers out there are just wondering. This station was born out of greatness, like we say, partnership of greatness. It is your platform. Why haven't you phoned me way back to say, Pastor, we want to come to the station as Olympians?
I think, Pastor, everything has got time.
Everything has got time.
I think every journey starts with one step.
That's right.
And this is the journey that you have given us. Sometimes, again, the branding starts in this format. When you associate with people like you, Pastor, then we know that there are better things to come. Not long ago, Olympians through the National Olympic Committee, we were honored to go to State House and meet the president and present the Queen's Baton.
President HH.
Yes, and present the Queen's Baton. And the message was like your message, that we are proud of you, but come out and do something that is for the community, because already we are a brand, and he also accepted that he was our fan, he was our supporter. So we have a lot of supporters, and what we need, as you are saying, is to come out and be honest that we need help. Because I'll give you an example of Mr. Kapera Katumba. He's an Olympian, and nobody knows Kapera Katumba. He played soccer for Zambia.
Really?
I think he's in Kapirimposhi, because we have that of everyone. Quicksilver, based on Chambeshi. He's an Olympian. We were together in Korea. I think Musiska, Great Kalu, those who are still living. The others, we lost our colleagues, may their souls rest in peace. The Ifo Chawalas and others. So we are a large family. And what we are appealing to all concerned is to use us as a brand. Give you a good example, Pastor. Let the Ministry of Tourism try and get Olympians to go to a tour resort and ask the tourists, your guides are Olympians, and they'll see how many tourists will come to that resort.
Really?
Because them, an Olympian is a brand, they want to associate with you.
And in Zambia, we don't know.
Yes.
That an Olympian is a brand ambassador.
It's now being known because of Camnet here. I think now, while people are listening, you know that they can use you as a brand. Now, when they use you as a brand, how are you marketing them? We are in almost all the countries in the world. So it's a pattern we share to the World Olympians, and it's picked up. So you're also marketing your brand, your product. Yeah. So most especially the tourist resort, let them try that. Let them have the seeking of Mr. Matete. So ask the tourist, Mr. Matete will sign. And they just try it as a simple concept and see how many they will receive.
Well, let me say that, Mr. Chipala, like you said, everything starts with a state. Camnet TV is a national television, though private, but like I said, we are a family. I look forward to when you are going to organize lunch, dinner, or whatever you organize, tell Mr. Matete, whatever, Camnet TV will be there to contribute live transmission of that event so that we pipe it out there. People have got to know. This is not mean achievement. What you are telling us here, if it's in other countries, you would have security guards in your house.
Indeed.
You would have security guards when you are walking. But here in Zambia, anyway, things are changing. And one of the things that my wife, as CEO, of course, we have just said, let's give honor to whom it's due. Because what you have achieved, Pastor Chuva will never achieve it, you know. So Zambians must know about that. So once you organize an event, let us know.
Pastor, that's a very honor, a great honor that you have given us. And I'm sure my colleagues are also listening, those in the Copper Belt, those in the other outskirts, that we have an offer at hand. And every time we have an activity, we need to use Camnet TV so that you can come and cover this important event.
Absolutely. We'll be there.
Yes. Because when I listen to your message about sports, you are consistent with your message. You always talk about the falling standards of sport. Including my mother here. She will always talk about the falling standards of sport. But now, we should change these falling standards. It's ourselves. We need to put in what we can.
Because Mr. Chipala put it this way. Yesterday I had two coaches here, Mr. Chikwanda and Mr. Musonda, Fides Musonda.
Yes.
They were here. And I've been so concerned with soccer. We can't just be blaming Andrew Kamanga is not doing this, Andrew Kamanga is not doing it. Before you blame first president, what are you as an individual doing?
Yes.
You see?
Correct.
So my wife and I just said, let's get involved. This has been a journey of over 4 years planning about this academy and soccer. Now, what you have, you don't need announcements throughout the country. You just pick up the phone and say, Pastor Chuva, Pastor Victoria, we have this. We come and cover you. you people have done great for this nation, and we need to recognize, and that's my point.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Thank you very much to our mother, Mother Victoria Chiluba. The message you have is to encourage us, because those who are about to fall down now, they are saying, no, there is a message, there is where to need to go and get support. We will do that. I mean, it has never been happened where you are called by the media and say, look, we need to cover you at every time point. Because media also and sports move together. We are trying to market a sports person from one sport. And we were asked, can you give us a backup from the media? A video or a newspaper cutting? And we went to try to scout around the stories. We couldn't get anything apart from pointing fingers at each other. Then the university said, look, but the stories here are not telling what you are telling us.
Absolutely.
So we need to make use of the media in a proper way so that they become as a backup to whatever we want to do. Because in our days, we had many who are offered scholarships. And it was just on the fingertips, you know, you're going to America, you're going to Russia. But today it's not happening. And I see with CAMNET coming in, marketing, and the academy that you are just referred to, there are better things to come for this nation.
Definitely, Mr. Chipala. I'll tell you what, it's not just sport. You know, 2.5 years now, to 3 years, my wife and I started on agriculture. You watch sometimes.
Yes, I've been following those things very much.
Do you know the money that is involved in agriculture? This time, it's not that my wife and I are not promoting it. It's a strategical move we have taken, because we realize that farmers, those who have the passion, for you to get even $1,000, $2,000, you need to go through terrains and all this corruption, tribalism, favoritism, all the isms are involved in there. You know, but my wife and I, by the grace of God, we have what we call the CAMNET database and Team Zambia. I can tell you, Mr. Chipalo, yes, somebody may think we are slow to act, but the nation will thank God one day for this program.
Indeed.
Because we've gone steps ahead by looking at organizations, markets, and we are doing very well, but just quiet, because we have seen Apapakati, you say this, you do this, everyone goes out like there. But I want to believe God, Mr. Chipalo, that CAMNET will raise billionaires in this nation.
Indeed, we thank God.
Because somebody keeps on saying, even my friends overseas, they say, Pastor, the next set of billionaires will come from agriculture and technology. And that hasn't escaped my mind. I look at the Zambians, I say, please buy land, get 1 hectare, do this. And somebody may think, oh, because Pastor Chiluba and his wife are quiet. You've been in the army. The best way, sometimes they say, the best way to fight a war is to retreat.
Retreat, yes, and allow the enemy to close in.
Absolutely, to close in, you rest, and what? Then you attack, you ambush.
Yeah.
But there is no way. We're looking at this farming, and it's going on very well underground. We are doing what we do best, just like we've been doing on soccer. Nobody knew about this.
No, even me, I was shocked when I saw it yesterday.
When?
But I've seen the interview where you discuss why soccer standards have gone down.
Yeah. So, but underground, we have done our research very well.
Wonderful.
You know, and this is why I'm saying, you Olympians, this is your platform. Share with your friends. Whatever you have, if it means us promoting with you, whatever we can do, let's do it. The problem in Zambia, mwali wakalaka disease code ni chekereko, you know, nakalaka kulivo ne shata kalia. Those things are what is killing the talents in this nation?
Yes. No, I can assure you, when you talk about farming, land is very important. In Kenya, there is what they call invest back home. Because you know Kenya exports a lot of runners than other sports. So when they earn their money, there's a policy which they call invest back home. They arrive in the country, no matata, that means problems in Swahili. They quickly get the paperwork, they are given land. So they are in dairy farming, because I remember one time when the gift for the president was giving in Kenya was milk, oil, because there's an excess of milk. So they encourage them to invest back home. They were in auto industry as well, because they win a lot of money. And now they're in estates and farming, in real estates and farming. And
they don't have much land like we do.
No. And the other thing we wish to know is that when you have a farm, you can convert that farm into a cross-country route and make extra money. Because the cross-country is done at the golf course or at a farm.
Really?
Yes. And this cross-country route can be certified through the Athletics Federation and the international body.
Please say what you have just said again. Let me talk to my wife. We go that route. You are saying you can convert what? Your farm?
Your farm can do a lot of things. Working together with us, the Olympians, we can help you to convert that farm into a cross-country route. A cross-country route that becomes recognized internationally. And you have international runners coming to participate, including the national federations hosting their events there. You braai, it's your chicken. You roast, it's your pork meat, your whatever at your farm. So farmers should also look beyond that and look at us in sports, that we can be partners.
It should not have mountains in it.
We can make those.
You can?
You know, University of Zambia is the best trend. We have used that route. We have hosted Zone 6 games. We thought it was the beginning. University also can buy out from that. They have enough land to host these events. And there are many spinners.
You get money?
Yes. I mean, it's a big event. So if you go to Kenya, they are going around. What we need is not to go to Germany where we are studying. We don't learn much in terms of practical. But if you go to Kenya, you'll be doing practical. And you know they know what they are doing. You make your own obstacles. It's easier to make a train, a running train. So we don't have cross-country, which was there before in this country. Either even in schools, it's gone. But every person, even you pastor here, even Mom Victoria there, she would tell me she did cross-country at school at one time. But that time you ran in the bush where they don't see you. But today we set a route, nice route.
It has to be how many kilometers?
If you have a land of 1K, they will run a loop of 5, that's 10 kilometers.
Sure.
Yes. If you have land
and you can design?
Yes, we do that.
As Olympians?
Yes, we do that. And we've done that before. We have hosted the Southern region here. But I think people were interested in track and field, forgetting the traditional events, because this is a traditional event. It has no technical how to warm up. It's how you go on the route.
But I've only seen this mostly in Kenya. And also in
South Africa, also it's huge.
In Ethiopia, we were taken to one.
Yes.
In Ethiopia. So I didn't know that those things, anybody with a farm, why is it that the Bandas and the Mwales in Chipata, they just kill rats? No,
we can design that.
You can?
Zambia can design and have a perfected, recognized route. Because what you need in such event to be an international event is to have 5 foreign countries to participate. So can you fail to lift two from Namibia, Malawi, and so on? So if you have more than 5 countries participating, it becomes an international event. It's recognized. So if we don't have, it's time to help the federation to start these things in the country, because their hands are too full that they cannot do these things. Yes. We don't have the events going on in cross-country. Cross-country starts from road races in October when the season ceases. Because you have a generation for your sportsmen and women to generate. So you start your road races. From road races into cross-country, which accumulate up to somewhere March, you have the world cross-country. But because of our African runners winning these events throughout, they have changed now. It's after 2 years.
Now, here we are, Mr. Chipalo. we've been crying about youth employment. Youth employment. You see a lot when the COVID began. You know, us Zambians, we are good at coping. They said, no, you must be jogging. Yes, yes. Running. You remember that?
Yes, yeah.
All the streets were full. President Chagwalungu would be running this side, people like that. Now it has gone because of no vision. You're talking about youth employment here, Mr. Chipalo. And we don't have to say, oh, Mr. HH, President, we need employment. There you are. How many Zambians have got farms which can be turned into international routes? Even if Ukule Limanakumbi, you can just map out a route, isn't it?
Yes, you map a route and you become a member of the organization so that you say you host. So when you host, what is there? There's safety, there are prices. If you want, you start, then the sponsor comes in, they put their flyers. It happens if you go to IBEX, there are people who are doing those races. We had the Norwegians doing what they call the races where they put meal, like the powder. Those are the routes they follow. Those are also events that you can do. The other event that you can do in this country is mountain racing. And the World Championship will be, I think, in Thailand in November.
Mountain?
Yes.
With bicycle?
No, you run. It's also like a cross country. But you run in the trains like Kafue, the Mbika. You can make routes and do that. It's part of...
But even here in Lusaka, Mikango,
yes, you can do
there are a lot of mountains.
So people can come up with an association of that type and organize those events. And they are also money spinner. I think the Nigerian one, Uhuru, the first price is $50,000.
$50,000.
Yes. People can Google are listening on Camnet because today if you lie, people say you lied. If they Google now about wild mountain or mountain racing, they'll find those events going on around the world.
Tell me, can you allow my wife and I to join in, just in case I win?
Please, I'll be the manager.
That's an impossible.
So it's part of tourism.
Yeah.
Very big events. They are going on around and they are organized, yes. Then we have what we call the veterans, the masters. So when I retire, I'm 35. Anyone who's 35 is a master. 42, you go into what they call veteran at 35 and 42. Then when you go to 45, somewhere you are master. Then after that you are grandmaster. You've seen those who run the marathon, they're just walking. The old people, about 90, the oldest is 90 years. Yeah, so these continue.
And they are paid those?
They are paid, they are sponsored by Nike, they are sponsored by Zamteo if you want here. Zamteo can put in something. MTN can sponsor. So the age category continues.
That one I can also participate.
Yes.
This year I will be turning 62.
You have your age category, you are in the Grandmaster now. You've been the Grandmaster. I'm sure.
My goodness. And all this, Mr. Chipalo, I want to speak to Camnet TV viewers, those of you who are listening to this program. These are eye-opening programs. The Bible is very clear. It says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Because as a nation we have lacked this knowledge, which Mr. Chipalo is offloading here, free of charge. Some of you have got farms. Some of you have got farms which has mountains. Here's a man with his friend Matete and all those Olympians. You just give Camnet a phone call. Camnet, I want Mr. Chipalo to come and mark this. We will support you. Surely, Mr. Chipalo, as you said, that even contributes to tourism.
Yes, indeed.
Because in Kenya, these things are big events. In Ethiopia, they are big events. But in Zambia?
In fact, Mauritius, all these activities are sponsored with the help of means of tourism. But we are well placed ourselves. We have better routes. Because on the roadside, we have difficulties to do road races in the sense that most of our roads actually, because we are supposed to engage also the road sector people,
RATSA.
yes, so that if we were going to have an international event, it should not have humps, because you cannot call it 42 kilometers.
It should not have what?
Humps.
Which humps? The ones which are
yes,
on the road?
Yes, those, because you can't run when there are humps, but our motorists should be careful so that, because the more they cause these accidents, the more they also disturb the routes, because the humps are going on now on these routes. So it will be difficult for you to have such a route measured accordingly. So in future, I think we engage.
So you mean a person can run 42 kilometers?
That's the fastest. Marathon is 42 is the longest we do. There's
Kilometers?
Also, yes, there's also ultra marathon, which is 100 kilometers.
Young Tata. Without stopping?
Without stopping. A marathon is like spending your budget, where you plan that I'll remain with 10 kwacha. When my salary reflects, then I finish my 10 kwacha. So it's a energy reservoir. So you run so many distances. It's about hours.
In one day?
Marathon is 42. They do that. We have Zambians who do that as well. But the only problem we have is their times are slow. Because if somebody runs below 220, I'll be proud, because you get a manager. Because what happens is, for you to qualify to run outside the country, it's like an exam. If your runner runs a race that is recognized in a measured route, it means the time will reflect the whole world.
Really?
And managers will start looking for that athlete and put their money on that athlete.
Even here in Zambia?
Yes, if you have a recognized route that is well measured, certified by...
So do we have any recognized route in Zambia?
We were about to, but I don't know how far it has gone. And one of my colleagues actually was supposed to come, and I was asked that they can use him. So I don't know how far it went to come and measure, because for the region like Zambia, the one who should do that is based in South Africa, the nearest. So they measure this route. Once this route is recognized, whoever wins in this route with electronic measurement, below 2 hours, 20 minutes, you have a manager to manage your runner. It's a business.
Really?
Yes, it's not a small business, it's a big business.
And you make money?
The manager has to pay. And that's a business that is in athletics. I don't talk soccer, but I'll talk about athletics. If you look at that boy Siame, he was worth money.
Which Siame? The one who is
our runner, who had run the fastest.
Yeah.
Believe me not, if we guided him very well, the federation was going to reap a lot from him.
Really?
Yes. That's how you get the business from these runners. Kenya has 1,000 outside the country. The Federation of Simple.
They have
more than 1,000 athletes.
1,000?
Yes, if you Google how many are running outside. Some of them do illegally. But when an athlete goes to run illegally, don't disturb them. Really? Allow them to reach the peak. In the top 10, then you tell the manager, we are withdrawing that guy. Then the manager comes, you negotiate, and you get what you deserve. But if you disturb that athlete who's just in the top 30, what do you get?
So, help me understand. Kenya has over 1,000 people running.
Yeah, abroad.
Abroad.
Now,
what about Zambia?
At the moment, we don't have.
For the whole nation?
Yes, for reasons. We had Luchembe based outside in Spain. The Anglo Luchembe is back is with collection service. Briefly, Siame. At the moment, we don't have anyone in the security, because what happens in the year, according to your time, you are invited to go and run the security in Europe. You remember Siame going around? Yeah, because of his time. So the secret is your time.
From here to Kafue, it's about 45 kilometers.
That's 42K. But for track and field, for example, they will say the Commonwealth Games, what is the qualifying standard? 400 is 47, and your runner runs 46. You qualify on your own. No one stops you, because there's a database. All they do, they get the database.
And they'll enter it worldwide?
Yes, and then their managers looking for these children around. So the more events you organize, which are all perfected and well-trained athletes, the more, you remember Mupopo, the one who was banned. Unfortunately, she was banned, the young lady. She's with Zambia. I mean, she had reached that peak, and she was getting good results. Yes, so it's a time that you run. So you should always know what is the qualifying time to train your runner to get to that time. And if they say they are organizing a recognized race, take your runner there, enter them. If your runner does well, the results go worldwide.
And you are invited?
Yes, you're invited. You get clearance and so on, and you go.
This is why I'm saying, Mr. Chipalo, this information you have kept to yourself with your friend Matete. I know that Zambia, no one bothers to invite people like you, people like you. People are legends. You are supposed to be celebrated here by the government. The minister should record this information you are giving. Why do we just stick to soccer? Swimming is not there. This is not there. I don't know. When are you thinking to organize some meetings this year where CAMNET will come and cover you free of charge?
Well, soon we'll do that, God willing, that things go well. We received the offer with happiness and joy. So soon we'll do that, where you come and cover us and you meet other young and old Olympians. Because just like I'm explaining, I think Zambians should take time to study the sport. The problem we have is to study the sport. I've been in meetings where you sit next to an officer who's in charge of an activity somewhere, and then they'll say, we don't know these things. I think it's high time, people, what we have offloaded here now, to start studying and to try it. It's not only the Olympians that should produce these products. Any concerned parent who feels this child can give me a good result should start studying soccer, netball, athletics, golf. These have got rules, which...
You know, my wife used to be a very good runner. She has said it time and again with Venekaro Mumbi.
And Josephine Shamwana.
Those were the times that she was running. But because there was no Olympian like yourself to guide her, this time I could have married a millionaire, you know. I could have married a billionaire.
But she can still start training others and produce a product. I think there was Miss Chesterman that time, a white lady.
That was her coach, actually. Mrs. Chesterman. That was her coach.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So you can see what we have missed. And now my wife, this year in March, she will be turning 60.
But she's giving back through the academy.
She's giving back through the academy, but I am saying lack of information in this nation is killing this nation and bringing it down.
That's very correct. And if people, the viewers of CAMNET TV, get interested in reading what I'm saying, they will bear me witness. You can have a cross country at your farm and talk to the federation that you want to host an event and let it be certified. Because the more activities we have, competition is the blood of an athlete. That's a fuel. The more you compete, the more fuel in the body. The less you compete, the less fuel. So you cannot get to the level of our colleagues in East Africa.
Without competition?
Yes. So the CAMNET viewers who are listening, because you see the government has a lot in its hands. Please put this side, try this. The government does not start programs. Sometimes they buy programs. I've seen the framework, sports and youth framework for the new Dawn government. Their priorities on sports is about the community sports, school sports, of course, the disability sports. Because even the disability athletes can give you a business. Because they also compete just like another person. So inclusiveness is very, very important. But my appeal to Zambians, parents, encourage your children to take up any activity they feel like. Because when children are young, we give them what we call many-sided games. We don't choose a sport. No, many-sided games. Yes, until they get to a certain age. Because if you enforce them, you will not have result. I'll give you an example of Brazil. There's no one who's named after Pele. reasons are simple and straightforward. There are no parents. There could have been 1 million if it was in Zambia. Yeah, we had a lot of chitalus, boys and girls. Why? That is pressure without force. You are telling this child, because if he's chitalu, should play soccer. May he so rest in peace. If you name this child after me, this child should run. So we call it pressure without force. And there's another aspect that has destroyed our sector, is monster equipment. If you
What's that?
Monster equipment. If you don't go and train at Heroes, means you cannot win the race. Now, what about the one in Chirubi, the one in Shangombo, the one in Sekesi, the one in Kaputa? That means you have closed their door, because when they see you just saying you can only win when you're at Heroes, they pull back. But they have more talent that you can train anywhere. Heroes, Levy, YDC, these are competition facilities. They're not for training. When we were in Kenya, we were surprised that children came as far as Nakuru to come and view the facility. They've never seen it in their life.
Really?
Facility, yes, we are pushing the government. We need this facility. We need this. But do you know that Japan has more facilities? And what results do they give you? Road races. They are good at the road running. If you've seen Japanese, they always upset the table, isn't it? But they have more facilities. So sometimes monster equipment also has brought this perception to the young ones.
Because as you are saying, Mr. Chipalo, you can't compare. I drive through when I'm going to Chipata. Think of those mountains, Palwangwa. A boy who ikarahepa happen, I am bokulabu, tukafyoku nina shirashi nempiri, what. That, you don't need the facility.
Yes, because
all it needs are people like yourself to say, okay, you are for banda, you should be timing yourself. Do this, and that's all.
Yeah, because if you remember, we used to go to Independence Stadium to do stairs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, with stones in our hands. Improvise, not weights. But we are not saying the children today should do the same things we are doing, because as we used to fetch firewood first, cook for ourselves, then we go to training, and we sleep on landing mattresses, others on the floor, at that facility there. Before we went to Korea, we were not in a hotel. But our friends start with a hotel. So these are also millennium children. We have to also accept this. It's not our days. But let's also give them the right type of training. For example, if you are going to have an exchange program with Ethiopia, Kenya, you're home and dry. Then going far, before you go to these countries, get challenged, get bent.
And you know, Mr. Chipalo, the last time we were in Ethiopia, my wife and I were taken to that high mountain in Ethiopia where they train.
Yes.
Amazingly enough, people have started coming from as far as United States, United Kingdom, and they run there. They say, how come Ethiopians are doing this, even in Kenya? So you have these other countries now going to train. We went up to the peak of that mountain with my wife. When you see people running, Abasungu, what, and I said to my host, why are these at Pastor? These are training
at altitude.
Because there is a lot of money. See the building of this guy who has one. Selassie.
Yes.
You know, he has a very big hotel
and
it's got buildings from the leg here. And you are beating your child who doesn't understand mathematics. Go to school. Instead you and I think, I don't know.
You know, he told me a good story in Birmingham. We met Gabriel. Because we wanted him to take up one of the Zambian athletes, and he acknowledged that, but the boy did not do the right thing at that time. He started to go to the US. And he said, no, Jonathan, you can only have one mother. So I said, what do you mean, Gabriel? You want to have another citizenship somewhere? Only have one mother, Africa. So he was taken to a country where they wanted him to do filming. And he was learning how to do filming. And the whole family in a nice hotel.
To do filming?
Yes, and a nice hotel, and he was paying good money. Then he said, you know, I put that too many repetitions in acting. It's more difficult than running, because it's just one lap, 10 laps I win. Really? That's what he was telling us. So we Zambians should say we can do it. And we can do it. We can still produce products in other fields of sport. Today you've seen what's happening. Everybody is glued to the television when Fashion, Sakala, Mwepu, and Patson Daka
are playing.
There's peace in every house when they are playing. So this sport is also a peacemaker.
And you know, I'm a Barcelona supporter.
Oh, wonderful.
The moment those boys went there, I support Brighton, I support Leicester. I changed because my boys are there. You know, so each time they are there and I see them, whichever team they are playing against, I want them to win. Never Brighton, we win 3-2.
Yes, 3-2, yeah.
I was very happy. You know, so I don't know. But I think Zambia, we are learning.
We are getting there.
We are learning.
And I mean, I think the new ministers, the gear, we've seen, we do right on his Facebook once in a while when we see he's doing an activity. He's been going around the country on the youth empowerment. I think the next trip we'll take is on talent identification. And we hope we can have people that will accompany him and go on. Because the problem is that our friends in the rural sector do not even know how to start the training. But if we can empower community coaches that will help these children just how to warm up, to stretch, runners, ABC, and accelerations, and go into the field of play. We will have products. The child in the rural area don't need insurance when they come to training camps. They will just maintain their form. They need to develop their fast muscle fibers. Because most of the children in the rural areas use slow muscle fibers. You know, they run to and from school. So it means they already have the endurance. And when we get them into town here, we want to work on them on speed work. Remember Milo Shifter of Ethiopia? He used to run to and from school. And the children in the rural areas do still walk and run to and from school. Hours we drive them or they get on the bus. So we cannot have distance runners from here. Here there are events like maybe 400, 100 meters. But if you want distance runners, it's in the outskirts of the cities.
You know, today I was touched. I was with Mr. Bene.
The teacher at Kablonga Boys.
The teacher at Kablonga Boys. I went there. We have started the preparations for Saturday, these trials. And he saw me, then he came and we talked. Then he says, Pastor Chilwa, you know there is this young man, he's an orphan. He's in Isoka. And the boy is the best midfielder. They know him in that area.
In that area, yes.
And the phone calls today I received from people who are outside. And one man said, I'm bringing the twins, Pastor, for these trials. It's amazing how much talent we have in this nation, which is dormant.
Yes, yes.
And we have just said with my wife, Mr., that the next Ronaldo, the next Messi,
come from Zambia.
Should come from Zambia.
Indeed.
And the Camnet TV will have a role. We will participate in that, and I know what I'm talking about. You know? Yeah,
but Pastor, my appeal is that also you become a bit neutral to us in the athletics arena. Give us a platform, organize something, and see. We have the Youth of Africa Games this year in Egypt.
But this is why I called you here. So that you come and open our ears.
It will be fair that a portion is given to us as well.
No, this is your platform.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I like what you said about the three things.
They invest, and involve.
Invest,
invite, and involve.
And involve.
Yes.
Explain that.
You see, in every sector, like today, what you have started, we invested together with MAM. Now you are involving people. I mean, you are inviting. After invitation, what next? You are going to involve these people. Say, wherever you are, can you tap a talent there, do ABCD? That is the whole scenario. Again, you are looking at where we are coming from, where we are, where we want to be, when do we get there, and what is our time scale. Because these are very important. So you already have a program of action. So what you need is the people to implement it, because you are the brain behind it, you know it. So what you need is just these coaches that are going to deliver, and at what point, and what is required, and so on. So it's a done deal. So all those that I saw, Fides Musonda and Coach Chikwanda, these are coaches I know, and we share and we chat and so on.
And there is also Chris Kaunda.
Chris Kaunda.
There are three.
This is a coach that worked so much with the Rising Stars. You are seeing the Mwepus.
The Rising Stars.
These boys,
Mwepu and...
Yes. He did
Chris Kaunda.
Yes, he was behind that those products. Is it Airtel Rising something? Where they tapping
talent identification by Airtel.
Yeah. He enjoys working with young ones, and if you have a coach who enjoys working with children, that is the concept of the Germans. When you are doing a coaching course, they take you to the Schule. They give you have to work with the Schule, and every time there's practical, they'll ask the Schule, how was it? When they do like this, you are in problems, because it's a human rights thing. So they will teach you the top athletes and the children. So once you pass the course for the children, then they know you are able to coach, because you can do jump. And that's the type of coaches like Chris Kaunda.
Chikwanda.
Yes, all those, because they came from zero, and then they accelerated to that level. They've had the game in mind. They have the practical. I saw them explaining the methodical, the coaching aspects. What is involved? When did you recover? What do you eat? At what time? Because the worst thing is when you're an athlete or a sports person, when do you eat? How many hours before the game? You get confused because you don't have somebody to help you. So it's important to be with a person who has been there. Because how many hours before the game do you eat? And what type of food? Imagine you're going to eat a pie 30 minutes before the event. When is it going to digest and give you the energy? It means you have no energy in the body. You are running on an empty stomach. So the coach will have an expert who will say, okay, eat 2 hours before the game. Marathon runners, they eat Ishima. We give them Ishima 2 hours before the event. But you get like chicken, you remove all the bones. There's just fiber. Because it's an engine. Imagine 2 hours a person just running like that. I had an opportunity to learn from the late Francis Mukuka. He died in South Africa.
The late?
Francis Mukuka. He was with National Service. And he engaged me as his coach. He was older than me. And I was doing distance training for him. We went to Soweto Marathon. We were sponsored by Aero Zambia and Garden Court here. And he took part in the Soweto Marathon. For the first time I went to Soweto, just after independence as a young man.
In South Africa?
Yes, there was a lot of drama that went through.
Yeah.
But we managed to survive. And Mukuka won the Soweto Marathon.
He won?
The first time the Zambian was, yes, he won the Soweto Marathon. But this sponsorship was just our group. We came together and they agreed. This, Mr. Copeland, they put in this, Mr. Mulenga Sandwood, Mr. Mugala, Chongo Muiraz, and I think the current ZAP president and the others.
Mr. Mponde.
We came together and put a few ways and sponsored this runner. And he did wonders, and that's how we started our project. And when we came back, we didn't know he was given a nationality to be a South African. Then he told me, Coach, I'm now a South African. I said, but you didn't tell me. So what do I do? He says, I'm going to retire. He came back to Zambia and he retired from the defense. And he left. He lived in South Africa happily. But sadly enough, he was bashed by a car, I think some 2 years ago. And in that committee, we had colleagues like Honorable Mcheleka. Because we could group ourselves and share this knowledge. All these were involved in that sponsorship. And then we had a very able, hardworking lady there. Now I think she's Mukwinda Chivisakunda. She was with Stanbic. She was also interested in what we were doing. And we got a very huge corporate sponsorship.
Is she the one managing Zanaco now?
Yes. That lady did wonders. We went to Swaziland to represent Stanbic. We organized athletes from various angles. Southern, we had Ademwamba, she lives in the States now, and East, the late Yotamule. We had the same Francis ZNS, we had Francis Wala from Zambia, and Dr. Kabemba from University of Zambia is now a lecturer. To promote the university, we thought we get a student. Because there's what we call also escort athletes. To promote an institution, you can do that if you have a sponsor. So we went to Swaziland, sponsored by Stanbic, full-fledged. And it was a wonderful event. And we thought these are the events that should have continued for the sake of development. But when we left, I left the country, and the others also went somewhere else. We still came back and sat down and said, what do we do? Let's make a difference. We thought of a mayor's race. And we had Mr. John Kamanga, was my godfather at that time. I said, I'm going to Europe. We are leaving you an event that is called the mayor's race. That time, this event was anchored by the late Mr. Mkandawile, who was the mayor of Lusaka. And he had no objections. He was interested in the event. It took place twice. And the French embassy were interested and offered 2 scholarships every year for that event. And now I wish that event can be revived, Lusaka Mayor's Race. It added value. It was just a 10K. Councillors came, participated, their families. They received the equipment as they wished. The Chinese embassy came on board. So we're trying to use these kind of activities to develop the sector. And I think what is happening is that the branding is a problem for us. Soccer brands itself. So for me, I don't want to compete with soccer. In the period of Mr. Mulonga,
Teddy Mulonga,
we were invited as an association to compete during halftime. We did the relays to help us to market the event. And it worked. So we can also still do that format when CAMNET events can take place during that halftime to show our abilities. So what's lacking, I think, is one, branding, member engagement, event organization.
Publicity.
Yes. We lack that. Because people just say, but what have they gained, these guys? Despite they went to the Olympics. Because Zambians want to see you drive a big car, but not knowing that you have gained knowledge and experience that you can pass over to them. Look at the collection service in Kenya. They are some of the best event organizers because of their job. So you engage them, you train them. These are the best. They are all over the country. What is the power corporation company like our ZESCO? They are all over the country. So they can also employ, if they created these activities, they'll be able to employ the young ones in those sectors where they are. So branding and marketing has been a problem. But CAMNET is saying, yeah, we are marketing now. So we are branding ourselves.
You have the platform.
Yes.
You know, I've been so blessed because this CAMNET TV is mostly watched by families. And this is the beauty that I've come to know, that even young boys and girls, you know, they watch CAMNET TV.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they have a family where the kids were asking me, they just wanted to visit. So I said, it's not a tourist sector. I said, but we want to be there in front and see what goes on. Because we want to learn from what he's saying. You know, this young girl is a designer. Does design.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's a small girl. And she feels like she would like to come and see the decorations and try to design what you have done. So,
really?
Yeah.
No, they are welcome. I'm saying families are coming here and they are watching. From the farmer point of view, I was just reading today, early morning around 02, 03, on our Team Zambia. There is one family that is producing organic honey, 20 liters at just 1,400 kwacha.
Oh my God.
You can imagine that. And if people out there are watching, they say, Pastor, I don't want sugar. $1,400 kwacha Shikulu, you know, Zambia, we have what it takes. We have what it takes, but we lack information, we lack promoters, and also jealousy that you be better than me.
Yes.
That thing kills this nation.
Yes.
You know, if I know that you are better than me, why can't I promote you?
I think that's the other battle which we need to do away with. Because if we want to develop, then even our selections will not be fair. I'll give you an example. Today we have the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, soon in August. Now, what are we doing?
Is Zambia prepared?
At the moment, no. But we should do that.
But can you prepare?
Well, we can find a talent that is advanced. There are talents that are advanced than the coach. The Chulas, Mopopos. You may search for such a talent around the country that you see in the next round, the semi-finals. Because the Commonwealth Games is not a small event. Boxing, you have Britain, you have Nigeria. Running, you have Kenya, you have Jamaica. So it's not the name Commonwealth, they are tough events. So the time is now to prepare and find those who can support the two are already there. This is Rod and Jovo and Siame. The other small ones cannot qualify because they are still in their infant. Those who are in the regional games. It is a headache for us to send, imagine, 3 athletes to the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. That would be very embarrassing. And we need to
you need to send many.
Many should qualify. I mean, we need a big contingent.
Not just 3.
Well, honestly, sending 3 to the Commonwealth Games, it will not be a good thing. And I hope the people charged with the duties to do that can now tell the people to say, can we see what you are doing for the Commonwealth Games? Where are we? How are you preparing for these games? Because we know the season is, we are in the, although we have a drought, but we are in the rain season. Our calendar opens in April. By now, we should have had the database of the top 10 and get these coaches who can help them into residential camps and start preparing them. But they will go like they're just coming from doing fitness training.
This is the other problem that we have, Mr. Chikopa. I had the privilege of speaking to the coaches, you know, not just yesterday. I was speaking to them. You know, it's a privilege that we have been invited. We have been invited to participate in the US, Mr. Chipalo.
Oh, we thank God.
CAMNET under 12, 16, under 18. There are 2 teams that have been invited from Africa. One from Nigeria and one CAMNET Stars.
Oh, congratulations.
Now, the people we are taking there, believe you me, all they want, these guys, is to give 100% scholarships. We buy the tickets here, parents buy the tickets, or we find the sponsors, take these boys there. Once they see this guy is talented, this one, there are over 51 universities in America that want boys from Zambia, I mean from Africa. And now you can imagine there will be 2 teams from Africa, Nigeria and Zambia, you know, given free scholarship, 100%, where you went to study.
Yeah, because you know, it's a good gesture. American sport is about reading the game.
Reading.
Yes. So they want to catch them young. That's the concept, which we are not doing. Because if we catch these children young, they are at the early stage, the child receptors are open. There's less information. So whatever you feed them goes into the motor memory. And the reaction is very good. Look at America. America usually plays baseball and softball. It's for the mind. You run to the base, the coach tells you back up, the ball is coming, so the reaction. So at that age, Kingsman is child. He's now a goalkeeper in the States, because they got those guys, a Danish coach and Kingsman, to coach at different levels. They know where the knowledge is. What they'll do for these kids when they get there, they'll take pictures of what they are doing and produce a book. So that's what we are also lacking, because producing a book will cost you what? Pictures, movements. So children, because they can see the movement just through the pictures. Is it Becker? Was in the USA.
UK. Now he's in the
Remember he played in the US?
Yes.
They will call him regardless. They will tear him on social media. All they needed was to capture his movements and pay the auto money.
Really?
So that's a concept now they're using to train others.
And you know that America is offering more money than European soccer?
Yes.
They are going up,
And
you know.
they started soccer like easy things. Every supermarket has a ball, has a net. Every parent has a goalpost and a soccer ball and gloves. To train, they have more goalkeepers.
And there are 52 states.
Yes, you see, you know that they have more goalkeepers. So to choose out of that. But of course, China is working on producing 10 million soccer players. And they
30 million?
10 million.
10 million.
And they look at winning the World Cup
Really?
at one time from that group. Now they are calling Okatongos to play there. You don't know the idea. These Chamangas, the Dodrobras, the what? Is to use them and get the know-how. It's difficult to get the German know-how, because German will not teach you the concept. I was in school there. They'll give you another concept. When it was East, they will not even give you, because their knowledge is the language. You need to understand their language. They don't teach you anything in English. So if you can't read the language, so it's very difficult. Now, what has happened after the breakout of the Berlin Wall? Remember the European, which country won the European Cup? It was a German coach. Yeah, they like that. They give their knowledge. And then...
So they keep certain information to their nationals?
Yes. It's very, very important, because you know WIDA.
Yes.
WIDA is a very good exercise for training your lower muscles.
Really?
It's quite loading. So
you know WIDA?
Yes, we need to design exercise. When I was in school in German, they asked you, don't ask for an exercise. Can you design? They'll give you a mark. Because you know in Zambia we can't design an exercise. We can.
I want you to, Raj Palo, you know Kamne TV, and again I'm requesting those of you out there who have got knowledge, who have got what it takes. I've liked so far the text messages that I'm receiving on the Kamnet Soccer Academy. People taking it personally to say, Pastor, warn these coaches, they should know that this is our team, we are Kamnet viewers, so they don't want to...
No, indeed.
You know, and like Mr. Fiudes Musonda was saying, that what kills the game is maybe getting money from this player, getting this favoritism. We don't want to see that in Kamnet.
Yeah, you know? And again it goes with ethics. Because coaches should have ethics. And I think my appeal to the council and the ministries to see that these ethics are taken serious. Because you don't even lobby for a player under the ethics of coaching. You don't go there and smell alcohol. Because we are the role models. What happens if you are coaching these children? They will tell their parents, Mom, Daddy, me I'm going for training. They respect you more than the parents. But it's you to give back and say, look, respect first of all God and your parents. When you come to me, I'm number 4. Their uncles, the aunties. Now what happens is that the children will just behave the way you behave, because you are like a teacher. The only difference is that you're not teaching on the board. So we tell them, go and read, go and wash your clothes before you come here. Then the parents start seeing change. I remember coaching children in high jump, and most parents came to me and said, my baby is so chula. Tuesanga high jump munganda. Then I said, come and see what we are teaching them. I was teaching them high jump flop. So they were trying it. Then I apologized. I said, well, I'll tell them not to do that. And I talked to them, don't. And most of them, they stopped. Again, if you look at coaches, we are classified as coaches. It's like in a religion. I know there's evangelists, you call them. What else? There's pastoring.
There is apostle,
yes.
There is prophet,
yes.
There is evangelist, pastor,
yes.
and teacher.
So you identify your working area in the process.
Yes.
God
yes.
will show you. Even in coaching, we have that. We have what we call the group coach, the instructor. You saw these graduations of our friends, our security young men. Those are trained by instructors who have short relationship with you. You graduate, you go. You forget about them. Even if you see them, we don't care. Then we have got the coach, who's either a group coach who trains different groups. I think there was one on the Copper Belt where the late Sumo Njovu used to do coaching as a group coach from one club to another, ZCCM. Then we have what you call a coach, who immediately you connect, the relationship becomes interesting. I think there was one coach who came from, Denmark? Paulson. Immediately connected to the players. They didn't want him to leave.
No.
So those who call him as a coach. Yeah, so you know your relationship becomes sour. Immediately you stay with a team, then you know your area is, I'm an instructor maybe. Let me try. So don't impose yourself. But we coach individual sports ourselves, but most especially in the group sport, the combat sport, like boxing, ball games. These are common features. You've seen the boxer says, well, he has done it with his coach. Then after some time, the performance is bad. He goes back to the coach. So these are common features. Yeah.
Mr. Musonda, let me ask my director to give us the advert about our academy this Saturday. I can't wait to see parents bring their children, because I know 2-3 years from now they will thank the Lord that they watched this program. I know what is in it, I know the benefits, and what we are just trying, Mr. Chipalo, it's not that my wife and I will do new things, but we just want to let the people of Zambia know that this talent, which has been dormant, we are reviving it.
Yes, it's a gift from God.
We are reviving it. 5 years from now, I look forward for Camnet Stars to be in the Premium League. 2-3 years from now, actually, for them to be dislodged, because there are certain things that I've seen where we miss it as parents, where you miss it as coaches. But we just want to work together. I want my director to give us that advert about the academy, and once we finish, the lines will be opened, because this mind, Mr. Chipalo, cannot have all the questions for you, and Camnet is about educating one another. I want the viewers to call you, and also to correct my wife and I where we go wrong. If we are not doing well on Camnet, they say, Pastor Chilua, you are outdated and all this. You know, we are a family.
Yes,
yeah. So, Mr. Director, please give us that advert. We are calling all the boys under 16, under 18 to come to Kablonga Boys Secondary School. Behind there are grounds that we are preparing. You will like it. Keep watching Camnet TV.
Are you a young talented football player? Unlock your international future potential of greatness in soccer. Zambia's greatest soccer talent that the world has been waiting for is about to be revealed. Join young and gifted football players through Camnet Soccer Academy. There will be trials and selection of potential players. Trials to be conducted on 8th January 2022. Camnet Soccer Academy is looking for 2 categories, namely under 16 and under 18. Don't miss this opportunity of a lifetime. Time 08 hours to 16 hours. Venue Kablonga Boys Secondary School. Parents, bring and support your children. Are you a young talented football player? Unlock your international future potential of greatness in soccer. Zambia's greatest soccer talent that the world has been waiting for is about to be revealed. Join young and gifted football players through Camnet Soccer Academy. There will be trials and selection of potential players. Trials to be conducted on 8th January 2022. Camnet Soccer Academy is looking for 2 categories, namely under 16 and under 18. Don't miss this opportunity of a lifetime. Time 08 hours to 16 hours. Venue Kablonga Boys Secondary School. Parents, bring and support your children. Are you a young talented football?
Dear Camnet TV viewers, tonight I have another exciting personality in the name of Mr. Jonathan Chipalo, who you heard, in case you are just joining us, this man has vast experience. Let me tell you, you should not force your children. Always get 6 points, get 6 points. Even if he got 92 points, I want you to know he has legs to run, he has got whatever it takes. God blesses people differently. Our lines are open. Please feel free to give us a call. Tonight you can call. You can also send the messages. May the Lord bless you and keep the Camnet TV viewers. You were born for greatness. And I believe, Mr. Chipalo, this nation, I don't know. I just have this feeling with my wife that this is a great nation. And God will bless us through different areas.
Yes, indeed.
This is why when people lack vision, they start blaming politicians.
Yes,
they start blaming this one,
the parents,
blaming the parents, blaming the church, blaming everything, including mosquitoes, that there are too many mosquitoes. Why should you have that blame syndrome? I believe with all my heart that each one of us, if we contribute in one way or the other, Mr. Chipalo, we can make Zambia great.
we change the face of this country, yes.
What you have said, I'm going to visit some chiefs and say, na papa tampe nikofika farm, muke senchi yako
Ka
root.
It's workable, and even the body that deals with athletics will tell you that you are doing the right thing. Yeah, I have a colleague who's been trying to do that on the Copper Belt, but we have not been to his center. You start, every journey starts with one step. The more of these routes we have, the better. Look, schools don't have cross-country now.
Let's pick up this call, Mr. Chipalo. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm watching your program.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I can see the man living of God. I'm very happy to be here, so I'm really amazed.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Zambia like that, technology, you're bringing a good idea.
Yes, sir.
Very good idea.
Yes.
Last year, October, I was a footballer.
What's your name, sir? Let me just write. What's your name and where you
I was
call?
wondering why they are crying for Zambia national team. They've killed the person. In secondary school, there is no football. In primary, there is no football. What we think you can get the players? In our time, football in primary was very competitive. And in secondary school, I'll talk about the Sister Katongo. Sister Katongo was the secondary school where I was school. He was not even playing in our school team. He doesn't qualify. But there were a lot of players. Now you see the names of sports, they don't even look about the children. That's why now children are just drinking beer. So it's not sports. Even running, they don't care. Yes, they cannot even play maybe. I think if you have what the man, the way you're putting the information and going to apply. Please, Mr. Government.
Yes, sir.
If you are make sure that person is upload all the information in our story. There will be a lot of talent in all areas.
What's your name, sir, and where are you calling us from?
Just guys, because they don't know where to go. They are just drinking beer. And the other, they are not for the young one.
What's your name? What's your name, sir?
That's my own excuse. I'm George calling from Lira.
You are George.
George.
Yes.
George who?
Musava.
Musava. But George, we are so grateful to God for you and for your call. But do you think, just a question, do you think once we get organized as a nation, do you think we can become a powerhouse in soccer, in athletes and all these sports?
Yes, if you can go back in terms of this, when we wrote in the book, and I brought the list, a lot of talent from the young one. Now that is being has been changed. I don't know what has happened. And I don't know what to bring that is being back. You got a lot of talent, even he talked about his gospel sound. You got even some of the richest people around. It's about that, some of the they are there. I think I want to call them so that they can improve information. The nation also does this first. You know, people are surrounding the first. Some of them, they don't get.
Oh, George Musava. Have you heard?
Yes, Mr.
He says because there are no sports in schools, primary schools, what. Yesterday, my wife and I, together with our daughter and our cabinet team, we went from the Kablonga boys, we went to Kablonga girls, and we checked there is a professional swimming pool there.
Yes, there is.
Which hasn't worked for years.
I've used that swimming pool before.
You've used?
Yes, when I was an athlete, because swimming is part of, somebody opened it up, I remember, and we used to go there and swim. But
and my wife, when she was at Kablonga girls, they used to use that swimming pool, but that was in the 80s. Now you can imagine, we are just saying there are no swimmers. We looked at that. We looked at the basketball courts, tennis courts.
Wonderful.
I have just said, God give us grace so that we work with the government of the day, we work with the people of Zambia to bring this nation to where it belongs.
Yeah, well, just like what Mr. Musawa said, I mentioned that one time I asked the school program personnel, I said, why don't you have cross country? He said, you have got 5,000 meters. I said, but how do you replace cross country with 5,000 meters? Because me, I used to run at Ruiru Secondary School. I used to do cross country at school. It is one of the best events that you can do because cross country, there's nothing like technique. It's just ability to run. And it's traditional. Yes. So you saw the Kablonga space. It's enough for cross country. And even I have always been talking about it. Munawali is enough for cross country. What is Kamwala is enough for cross country. Really? You can have a route for the youth. If you go to, is it Matero, what's his school? Matero Boys?
Matero Boys.
It's a Catholic school.
Yes, sir.
Look at the running track. Each facility in Zambia, each school has got a running track. Measured, if you look at 440. All these tracks you are seeing at Munali, Kablonga, Kamwala, Libala. One time Kablonga Boys had some of the best runners. We had Max Milan, he was in the police, he was a high jumper. We had Keno Mchimba, he was a sprinter and a boxer.
Let's pick up this call. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing best from the origin.
Permanently blessed. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Innocent. I'm calling you from there.
You are?
Ndola Innocent.
Innocent, please go ahead and speak to the world.
Yes. I just that getting that this is a very great program. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Innocent, we are listening. Go ahead.
Yes, and this is my first time watching some of the TV. I usually watch but not that program. Also, great Mr. Spano.
Thanks very much and compliments of the season.
Yes. From that panel, good greatness.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, and I saw how Mr. People was after the last question and asked you, where have you been hiding? Why are you not telling us? And one thing that was done for me is that there's too much opportunity in you, which is a good thing. You are gifted man that goes and very good. Your speech is full of self-speech. And a lot of people can never stop blaming the government, never situated that happens, this and that. For one thing, you say that this is what is happening. With what you are doing, I know you touch many lives. And also for Mr. Iran, I demonstrate one thing that will now start working with your program, because the one thing I can do is the right now. I don't know whether the officers where we can stand, because there's an institution where we are safe to can use the watching activities and register with, because they are more interested in especially the more the computers that come.
What you can do, Innocent, if you want to speak to Mr. Chipalo, just send the text on that number for prayers, plus 260 967 962 965 883. If you send the text on that number, even after the program, I will be able to give your number to Mr. Chipalo.
Okay.
Yeah, we used to ask my guests to share the number on TV, but we found that there are a lot of abusers who don't take things seriously. So if you send your name, you say, I'm Innocent from Mondola, I just called you, I will get that message and give it to him, and probably after we finish, maybe you can call on that same number, 883. If you call, you speak to Mr. Chipalo. He can talk to you.
Okay.
Thank you, Innocent. Innocent, it's just grateful that you are a positive person, and he's also wondering where have you been, because truthfully speaking, Mr. Chipalo, there are a lot of young people in this nation, boys and girls, who are heavily talented. I mean talented, even girls. They come under you, they sit and tamuri chemistry, tamuri biology, tamuri mathematics. You start coaching them how to sprint. You start coaching them. My nephew, my cousin lives in the UK. The last time we were there with my wife, their last born in Java was just being trained how to do the pacing.
Yes, pacing.
You know, he would just go, oh, Mom, I'm coming, and the boy goes doing like this. And he was looking forward to do like that Farah, is it Farah of England?
Mufara.
Mufara.
Yes.
They spotted the boy. He's a Zambian boy, but brought up in England. And they've been coaching. These people are looking forward to harness talent. But here in Zambia, no, I'm better than you.
No, I think just like you have right put it, Nangwa Innocent Fualanda. Yes, sometimes we don't want to give this knowledge that we have, and this is a mistake we make for a country, because when we are trained to come and give the knowledge to our country, and it's it's actually also within our the gifts that God gives us. He gives us the knowledge to go and give to the others freely, and then we benefit. Through this free gift we give, then we also benefit at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
It's true, my brother, what he has said, that we've not done so much. But if you look at the communications between me and Samuel Matete, we encourage each other, because there's suppression sometimes that we face. There's a lot of threats that you face. You know, we are human beings sometimes. People are pulling you the other side here and there, so you feel like frustrated. But there's a time that you meet the Camlet TV leadership that feels, no, I need brains to come forward and give me the knowledge that they have to the nation. I think we've spent more time on theory than practical in terms of people pulling each other here and there. That has not helped this nation. I associate with most of these associations, and I do advise actually. They are listening, my colleagues, that I'm one of the advisors, and I do free consultants for them, and they appreciate the services that I've been giving. But it's time that now time has come to give to the nation whatever knowledge we have in a small way. Be it in a village, we'll go there.
But like Innocent said, once he calls or he sends, I would want him to have your physical contact, your phone number, so that these people can access you.
Yes.
You know, the this problem of saying my contacts are my contacts, we are not going anywhere.
Yes, and if you don't share, let me just tell you, Innocent. We started like a joke with Samuel Matete, because I designed an academy. Matete runs an academy. Today, Matete's academy is producing 3 good sprinters and jumpers who have done so well. Not
Where is Mr. Matete?
He's on the Copper Belt.
Which town?
He's in Kitwe. And he trains from Kitwe's Kitwe playing fields. Not long ago in Regional 5, Matete's athletes won a gold, the girl in 100 meters, I think in 200, and the boy in long jump, one of them was just disqualified. So he has a breed of young ones that he's bringing up. And he has had a bit of sponsorship here and there coming. But with the Camlet TV, I think once he appears here, people see what he's doing once they cover his program. Because what's important is the coverage and the marketing. But with Camlet TV giving us the marketing and the coverage free, we are very proud and very encouraged that most of our Olympians, wherever they are, Mr. Msonda is in Chirabombwe, deep in Chirabombwe. He's also running a small program. And we shall also give to Camlet in whichever format we can, when called upon to do that.
Yeah, one thing I believe in, Mr. Chipalo, Japan was not developed by Japanese, by Zambians. It was the Japanese. China was not developed by the Ugandans. It's the Ugandans. If we don't take it upon ourselves and encourage each other, where you are strong, I encourage you.
Indeed.
Where somebody is strong, we encourage them. We are not going to go anywhere.
Indeed.
Yesterday, today, in fact, I woke up and I was looking on the phone, just checking the messages. Let's pick up this, I'll tell you after. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
Very well. How are you?
Permanently blessed. Where are you, and what's your name, and where are you calling us from?
Lusaka from O'Brien.
You are calling from Lusaka. What's your name?
O'Brien.
O'Brien?
Yes, sir.
O'Brien, please go ahead and speak to the nation.
Thank you very much. As part as mentioned, I think Camlet program has become more of the family program. And just following you with the part of them, my children, my 2 sons, and my wife, we've been keenly following the discussion, highly inspiring, very unique concept of the under 18 and under 16 for the Camlet Academy, and children and youth sports department. And of course, extremely interesting to listen to the research forum, the work of knowledge around athletics,
Thank you.
and the different sporting activities. So you get to that if we have such qualities in country, our players will be the likes of the Paulo or the Pepe. It's high time you began to reproduce yourselves.
That's right.
You don't just train.
That's right.
Raising athletes that should compete. We should be able to also understand train after, because that leads me to your level of experience and knowledge around that basis. You clearly see that you can train others to become who you are.
That's right.
Producing yourself, and I think that's what we love federation. Great people, guys, so much wealth and knowledge and experience, and they not reproduce themselves, and therefore everything that is gained is never sustainable because it's not passed from one generation to the other. But interestingly, I think to see that Khan's Academy is coming up.
Yes, sir.
I can assure you that from our household, with great excitement. My children want to be there very early and partly on the way. And our call is you also must consider to target the under 12 as well, so that we raise different age groups that will speak to the next level. But otherwise, I see that Khan's Academy will be a unique academy because for me it will be more of a holistic approach. We're not only raising footballers or athletes, but men of political discipline in terms of character, in terms of skill, and ability. And if we can raise such from a national standpoint, raising sportsmen and women of great caliber that can compete anywhere without them being invented corruption that they have focused. So this is a sign, and I'm blessed to be following.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, and may the Lord bless your children, and may they grow up as champions. And may the Lord keep them from every known and unknown evil. Amen. You know, you've heard what O'Brien said.
Yeah, very, very, very encouraging words.
He says you must reproduce yourself. When O'Brien was talking, I remember the late Miles Monroe. I don't know if you've read his book, Purpose.
Yes.
Miles Monroe said in that book that the richest place on earth is not the gold fields of South Africa,
no,
not even the oil fields of Saudi Arabia. He says the richest place on earth is only a few meters away from where you live, and that is the graveyard. Because in the graveyard are people who had songs which they never sang.
Yes.
They had books which they never wrote. They had ideas which and the coaches who never coached anybody. And this is what O'Brien is saying, that we need to reproduce yourselves.
Yeah, to give to others. And you know, that's a good thing when you have a parent watching and giving ideas. Because these ideas, like he has just said, who are we training ourselves? If we are not training the young ones, which other coaches are we helping this knowledge? We keep this knowledge to ourselves. Is it fair for the nation? No. That's why CAMNET is saying, come, offload what you have. Because when we are there in Europe training or Asia, we are told, go and make the program in a Zambian way.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in Germany, there was no 90 days swimming pool.
Really?
And swimming is part of the course, and I don't like swimming. But I was made to swim. They said, okay, you shall improvise. It's a pool. There's no swimming, but we're going to improvise for you so that you can improvise. So our kind of approach is to help the man and the woman in Ichirubi Island on how to improvise. Because if we are saying one talent identification and we are looking at facilities, and that's why I'm saying, stay away from monster equipment, stay away from pressure without force. Let's tell the person deep in Ichirubi, deep in Shangombo, deep in Kashikishi, deep in any sector of this country that you are capable of coming to compete. We had Kulado Sakala, the late, may he rest in peace. He was a teacher at Chipata Teachers Training College. And he only asked us for a program, how to run. He started training alone. He came for a competition. He slept at the station. He didn't eat breakfast. He went into the 10,000 meters. We thought he was a joker. First lap, he had the stopwatch. Started leading the race. We said, oh, this guy will die. What happened? 5 laps, the guy is still going. Our best runners started giving up. Kulado won the race. Yes, and he was selected to the national team.
Really?
Yes, from nowhere. And the army right there employed him. He was a teacher in Arakan. We lost him some years back. May he so rest in peace. This is a guy we admired. He slept at Intercity.
And the thing, Mr. Chipalo, is the young people, thank God for Brian and family watching this thing. You know, the young people today, they are wasting their time by smoking daggers, sleeping around with girls, drinking. They don't know that now, even one New York Marathon, you win it. It's millions of dollars. People don't know that.
That's what we want Zambia to be tomorrow. That's the vision of Matete and myself. Our cry is, can we see products? You know, Pastor, to take you back, the Lusaka Fitness, there's a colleague there who's a lawyer, Kafla Mwiche. And he asked me, wanted to train. On Facebook, I was sending him programs. And he became a coach of all Lusaka Fitness you have seen was because of that gentleman. He trotted from one marathon to another in the world.
Really?
Yes, we entered him. And when I was in the States, he came, he competed. As a Zambian, as a master, because he's a veteran. Now, we were trying to do this to show that, look, this is a legal practitioner. He's here in the marathon. What about you there? He parks his Mercedes-Benz there. The guy, together with the wife, they run every time. They're even better than me now. There's another council in Monawasa. I'll have to Google. We were communicating. She's also a lawyer. And I don't know why she's the one now with the State House. I don't know, but I would like.
Is it not Mamawa Maureen?
No, the young lady in Monawasa who has been running marathons throughout. She even competed in the Berlin Marathon. So a lot have taken interest. And I hope they are listening so that they can come together with us and see how we can plan for these races and help to train others. They go to South Africa and compete in these Comrade Marathons. You know, Comrade Marathon is 90K and first prize is 90,000 rands.
Really?
So per kilo is 1,000.
1,000?
Yes, but it takes men and women to finish Comrade Marathon. And then there's Soweto Marathon, which I mentioned, Francis took part. It is run within the danger zone of Soweto, but very peaceful. So we can have our own races named after.
Please, Mr. Chipalo, help this nation.
Pastor, before I go, before I finish, you know, what shocks me is that we started running because of our parents and Yotam Blair. Who talks about Yotam Blair's race?
No one. The late Yotam Mule.
Well, he died in the university. In that accident, I've been there.
You've been there?
And the university looks forward to engage this country and have an event for Yotam Blair.
Really?
And the niece is there. Ade Mwambashi, Nomsa, now based in the States. She was a 1,500 meters runner.
And Zambia doesn't even recognize Yotam.
No. We have taken.
We have rubbed the road at Yotam Mulaya Road.
There is a book written by Moses Wagvita about Yotam and the others, and Satwat Sings and the rest. What Keith speaks with? We have rubbed this story now. It's upside down. Now, if you don't bring the Yotam Mulaya race to the children today to know that there was a man who they said used to grow tall in the night because of exercising. You know the exercise we do in Jam. And the father was a rainmaker. So I was following his story very well. So the guy in the night would go very tall. That's what they were saying. So now, if we can't, I hope on CAMNET we'll have a Yotam program one of these fine days. So we need such events. We have Yotam school here in Lusaka. What is
and
it
the
for?
road.
What is it for? We have the Mandela school here, but we have Mandela Marathon. Do we have the KK Marathon? So we can tie all these races.
Kenneth Kaunda.
Yes, then the winners go to the
Kaunda,
Mandela Marathon.
Yeah.
In South Africa. So what we like is like our brother just called. What's his name again?
O'Brien.
Yes, he has brilliant ideas. Now, when you have such people coming on board and say, we can help to plan. give us these ideas. We are ready to do that and move forward.
And this is what my wife and I are saying to this nation. We initiate this, but we are looking for people like you. We are looking for all these brains to come. And it's not just about Camnet Academy, Chipalo. Trust me, God will use this academy to reproduce great players in the likes of Gottfried Chitalo. I know what I'm talking about.
That's very true. When there's a vision.
And also, O'Brien talked about the under 12.
You see the idea came out.
Yes.
Yes, that's good.
What it is, Chipalo, and I must make it clear to the nation, thank God for O'Brien. The reason why we have gone to the under 16 and under 18,
Under 18,
because this July,
you have a trip.
we have a trip to the States to participate in that World Cup fixture. So now, there, they want the under 19. So we are trusting the Lord. As a matter of fact, anybody who is below 19 in January, in July, they can come for this.
They qualify.
They qualify, they qualify. But after the US trip, we just want to go and showcase the Zambia's talent. But also, I've asked the coaches, Chikwanda, Matthews,
And
I said, and Chris Kaunda, can you prepare a team for the US? They said, Pastor, we've got enough time.
Yes, they have the capacity.
We have the capacity.
Yes.
Just let's have the boys and put them together. Then December, it will be for the girls.
Oh, wonderful.
December, it's for the girls.
For the girls.
So there's a lot of pressure to bring this team together. Maybe if I speak to them, because our target is under 12, under 14, under 16, then the boys who are 18 and 20, we want them to play in the Camnet Star in Premium League. But we want this, and the Faz knows we are working together. I'm so grateful to the Faz technical team, Mr. Zulu, the director there.
Oh, the colleague, yes.
Yeah, they've helped us, and they are just excited about this. So I believe that we are going to make a difference. Hello, good evening. Hello?
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Dennis Mwengwe calling from Kabe.
Derek who?
Dennis Mwengwe.
Or David?
Dennis Mwengwe.
The young coach in Zambia.
Dennis Mwengwe.
Dennis.
Dennis Mwengwe.
Dennis Mwengwe.
Yes, from Kabe.
The young coach.
Yes, the young coach.
Shanwa coach.
Yes, I've been following the interview.
Yes.
It's very encouraging.
Yes.
Yes, I'm very young, but I'm a coach in Kabe. I coach a Division 2 site in that Sports Youth Academy.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir. So what you are saying is very true. We need to support the program that we have started. Yes, we've got very good talent in Zambia in all categories of sports. Be football, athletics, boxing, whatever. So what you have just come up with, sir, I personally, I commend you.
Mm-hmm.
And I pray to the Lord that let God guide you
Thank you.
and give you long life so that you continue supporting the young people
Mm-hmm.
in Zambia.
Amen.
Wonderful.
If we look at Ghana, the players that are playing for Ghana this time, they started from the under 17.
Correct.
Players like Jordan Ayew, Dede Ayew, Jonathan Mensah, those players started from under 17, but even up to now, they are still playing for the national team. Meaning we have to concentrate on grassroots. But the only problem that I've seen in our country, even big sponsors, they concentrate on teams that are well established, forgetting the grassroots. who have a challenge. So, sir, using your platform as Cabinet, maybe you can talk to these big sponsors. They should also look at the grassroots. We used to have Paramba, Kaushamara Foundation, Lusaka Youth Academy, those clubs, those academies. But I don't teach Paramba this time. If you come to our club, we just sponsor our club using our pocket money. If we don't have money, we just play a game. So in a nutshell, I'm saying, continue doing the great job. May the Lord continue blessing you.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I must acknowledge here, coach.
Okay.
Yesterday, if you saw, we read a message from the UK.
Yes.
By Mr. Siame. Today we spoke a lot. And I'm sure he's watching. He's very happy about CAMNET. And the thing that makes him happy is that the talent which Zambia has to just go down like this. His son is 11 years. But Leicester and Leicester and another team were fighting for the boy. So he has been signed to another team where this is a Zambian who is based in the US, in the UK. But today he's saying, Pastor Chiluba, I'm so glad, I would like to be part of what CAMNET is doing. And I just appealed, if we can have as many boys and girls to go into Europe. I said, can we get about 50? He says, Pastor, even if we have 20. He lives there. He knows what he's doing. So this, coach, I can tell you that my heart bleeds. This is why I don't want to go through politics, this, yoga, fast, this, but they are doing a better job. But my wife and I don't want to go into quarrels with people or envying you, because what you do, I cannot do.
Correct.
What I do, you cannot do. But the two of us
can make a difference.
We will make Zambia a different place. This is what I believe in.
Yeah.
You know.
Because yesterday I saw a message from Ken Obanda.
Oh, by the way, there was a correction.
The senior coach is not there.
There was a correction. He sent a message and said, I'm not the Kano Banda you are talking about.
It's not
he said, I'm just a fan of CAMNET. Is Kano Banda.
I saw that message. I read it and followed it. What it is, like you are saying, every journey starts with one step. You said Rome was not built
in a day.
And what we need is to go into gear. You know, every program, when you start it, it's a bit rough. You only start where you can maintain, like you are saying. You are starting with that team to maintain them, to go to the States as a brandy, and they are saying they need that talent. There is, if you look at outdoor, the American player, that young man, the parents, I think, are from Nigeria.
They are from Nigeria.
That's how we got outdoor.
And you know that boy has become a millionaire?
Yes.
I learned about him when I was in
and he was in America while he was playing, but he's still studying. And what they are looking for, they've already seen that there is something in these two countries.
Zambia and Nigeria.
When you see them do that, they've already done an assessment. And once they get these kids, they mold them, they put them in gear, they train them, they put the know-how, because they know the receptors are still open. They're able to store the new information, any tactics or technique in them. And then they'll know that they have produced the team. Some of them now, they'll give them citizenship. You talked about Mufara. What happened to him?
And you know, the same people who have invited us, that's exactly what they are saying, that Pastor, some of those boys, when they come, we may give them citizenships of America. You know?
Yeah, but as a country, also, we should not say you are selling these children. And I wanted to touch on nationality. In sport, you can change nationalities as many times as you can. I know Mariam Oti, if you have heard of her, is a sprinter. I think when she she had difficulties to compete for a country. She changed from one country to another. Then I met her in Spain, and I said, which country are you running for? Then he said, I'm running for Spain. I said, how come? I said, oh, I changed. They applied. Those are allowed in terms of sports participation.
Because of their talent.
Yes,
Yeah.
and if you don't look after them, Kenya suffered a lot. A day before the race, the guy denounces. Now the rules have changed. You have to stay for 2 years without competing for that.
When you change.
Yes, to protect, because there were a lot of African runners. There are federations. 2 days before the race, the guy becomes a member of another country. So to protect that, but the athletes are not happy with that. So nationalities, I've seen a lot of stories about our players, where somebody says, oh, is it water, something warrior? Is not one of us. For the countries that run sports, it's a plus. And if Zambia can assemble more of these athletes, sportsmen around the region, France has won the World Cup with most of the
foreigners from Congo.
Yes.
France as well.
In sport, let's be flexible. Let's not injure these sportsmen and women.
No, with your knowledge and everything, please just be close to Cabinet. We'll follow our mother body guidelines. FAS.
Yes, indeed.
No quarrel with anybody.
Yes.
But we must see to it that our nation is put on the map.
Yeah, because some people say you are saying, that's why I wanted to touch this.
No.
No, it's a decision of the receiving country.
But here is the situation. If I can help your child, who will become a millionaire, is there a problem?
There's no problem in that.
So if somebody says Pastor Chiru has sold somebody, am I the one who moving with him in the pocket? That boy is coming to develop your country. He's coming to develop your nation. I said it yesterday. I was just doing, you can Google this. The lowest player paid in Europe, these boys are playing Premium League, Europe, more UK. It's £65,000. £65,000 per week, every Friday. What can it do for our families?
Oh, it's a lot.
We should push them a farmer to a Panganama running tracks.
Pastor, that is a lot. And I'm glad you touched about the women's soccer. You know, women's soccer in Zambia is moving like a burning fire. Yes, it's burning fire. And they may overtake the men if they are not careful. Once they are all looked after, because I think they are not well being looked after at the moment.
We'll see what our coaches will say about it. The under 12, the under 14, and this we'll see before they go to the states.
To the states, yes.
We'll see how they can get the women also, but we don't want our hands to be so full.
Yes, you maintain where you grow, you can maintain.
We
like
just
KK used to say. KK will say, we can only grow where we can maintain. I mean, I like this statement. He will tell you that.
Yeah.
I cannot go beyond this. And I know we have grown here. This is enough.
Let's just pick some few text messages. Sorry about that. Those of you who sent the messages. Evening, my names are Elias Nkunga from Twin Park. I'm 21 years old and I'm a goalkeeper. What I can say is, as for me,
bring money for them to
for
pick
me,
us.
have doing this training for 2 years, but they don't pick me. All they say is bring money for them to pick us. So we need your help. We can be the future players in Zambia. Thank you. This is a very sad text where you keep on just getting the kids, the money from the kids. Pastor, there is no physical education in government schools.
It's all theory.
It's all theory. All work without play makes John a dull boy. There is no physical.
Yeah, he talks about it. There's only, we talked about theory, too much theory.
Yeah.
So he says there's no physical activity like jumping, running, and so on.
That's why you are there. Give us that. Hey, give us that text. Hey, good program. I am a teacher of physical education sports. I have to meet him and learn much from him so that I can help my learner and hence the nation. Please share your line. This is Michael Sekeleti from Lusaka. Michael Sekeleti, please send the text and we will send the coach number, Mr. Chipalo. Give us another text, Mr. Director. Pastor and Mr. Chipalo, what are you waiting for? Why have you allowed ZAR to be full of people that are incompetent? This one we cannot comment, and Mr. Chipalo can't comment.
No.
You see, to build, you don't ride on other people's shoulders.
Yes.
ZAR is being led by a person who is able, Mr. Elias Mpondela, as a president.
Yes.
So we cannot talk about organizations. Let's stick to what Mr. Chipalo has brought. We don't want to rub people a wrong way.
Indeed.
I think that is my contribution, Mr. Chipalo.
Yes, indeed. Let's talk about the academy, CAMNET, and how we can forge
improve,
ahead.
yeah.
Yes.
Another text to Mr. Director, no messages. When my director says this, because it's news time, he doesn't want us to go beyond.
Okay,
I am so grateful. Your last words to the nation, Mr. Chipalo.
First is to thank CAMNET TV for giving me this platform, and to the viewers for the questions and the answers they've raised. And indeed that we are there for Zambia, and we'll give what we can together with my colleagues. But I can assure you, as long as God gives me this life, we are going to go in the shoes of CAMNET TV program that they've started the academy, and at their pace, and we shall do what we can. But all depends on the boss here, when he wants us to, and mom there.
No, when you are ready. CAMNET is your station.
Yes. I'm saying in terms of participation now.
My wife,
we have to be engaged.
You said you are coming on Saturday to see the boys.
In fact, I was supposed to come and watch.
Yes.
But then Mr. Wele was also very encouraging. He
Yes.
says, no, we are going to officiate here. So
Yes.
I'm coming.
You should come,
Yes.
and on Saturday morning, let's meet there.
Indeed,
there will be
Pastor.
some FAS people and everyone. Let's meet together
Yes, Pastor.
and be able to help this nation.
Thanks very much. It's
Yeah.
been a great honor for me.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Convey my greetings to Mr. Matete.
I will.
We honor him.
I'm
He's
sure
our
he's watching.
hero.
I'm sure he's watching because I sent him a text.
He's our hero,
Yes.
and nothing can take away from what he has done, in this nation.
He's doing great things. He has an academy. Yes.
Well, we'll invite him to come and explain to the people of Zambia. Like O'Brien said, you need to reproduce yourselves.
We will, Pastor, with your support and God's will. We need strength from God. We are human beings. Yeah, so we're driven by this power of God. And who will do that?
Well, my brother who called and he wanted to speak to Mr. Chipalo after we close this program, you can call 0962-965-883. If we pick up that, he can speak to you, or then he can give you the number, or we can give you the number, whichever way. But on behalf of my wife, the CEO of this company, we are so grateful to God for what God is doing through CAMNET. And on behalf of our technical people who spend sleepless nights to see to it that CAMNET builds on where we are in 2022, please keep on praying for this station. Let's stand as one. You can watch it on YouTube, you can watch it on Facebook, and we're getting into Twitter. Tell every person that we are actually there. Mr. George Musaba was just watching this for the first time.
Yes.
CAMNET TV. It's not fair. Please tell some other people. We will see you tomorrow. We will be talking about this. Come with your ideas. Come everything. Let's build Zambia. In the meantime, keep watching CAMNET TV, and remember, CAMNET TV is not just another channel. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.